Hello everyone, Olivia Reiner here with Ryan Wood and Pete Dougherty, and we are here at Gillette Stadium getting ready in advance of the Patriots-Packers game. And we wanted to chat a little bit about the inactives for today because we did just get that list now.
Yeah, big surprise here, Ryan.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski is inactive, and that's big. I mean, we were just talking about it. Tramon Williams is probably going to be playing your free safety. It's a tough matchup for anyone, but he's pretty undersized.
Well, I wondered if they were actually going to play Josh Jackson in this game in the slot to cover him. But I mean, we got to remember, the Patriots did win a Super Bowl without Gronkowski, so it's not like their offense just goes downhill. But this is their best receiving target, in a way. Kind of their best downfield guy too. This is the guy. He stretches defenses. He's the safety blanket. So, yeah, this is huge.
Now, I know you guys made your predictions earlier this week. So how does this impact your predictions at all?
Ryan's got to be regretting his pick.
You picked the Packers to win, right?
I did.
I picked the Packers to lose, but I've said from the start, if they won this game, I wouldn't be surprised. They could win this game, and I made that belief pretty clear in my score. I said 31-30 Pats. So, 1-point game. I feel like Tom Brady, how many times over and over again we say it's about Aaron Rodgers inside Lambeau Field. He makes one play at the end, and that's the difference. I just feel like Tom Brady, maybe Drew Brees, is that one other guy in the NFL that you could say it about playing inside his home stadium. You've got to find a way to make that play at the end. I think it's going to be close.
Gronk is out there just going, the fans are just celebrating this. The Packers fans are.
Yeah, don't be planning any parades yet. I mean, that's... James White is still a huge matchup for that. Like, how do they cover James White?
He won the Super Bowl. I mean, that whole second half.
How their offense
that Super Bowl was it against Atlanta, that comeback? Their entire offense was putting him out wide and hitting him for 10 to 25-yard passes. So yeah, he's a really tough match.
You don't want Blake Martinez on.
No, that's a losing.
So how are they going to? I don't know. I mean, that's. So that's still big.
There's our Eric Bronchek weighing in. No Gronk. He picks the Packers 31-27.
Oh, all right, that's pretty good.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I had 31-28, 30-28 Packers, with assuming Gronk was going to play.
So going, you were at practice at least once this week, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys see any walkthrough stuff? Did it look like Breland is going to play, or did it look like Whitehead or?
It looked like Tramon Williams was going to be the safety.
Right, but did it look like Breland was going to play nickel or dime, or?
Yeah, it was tough to tell.
Yeah.
Bashaud Breeland is active for the first time. To go through the Packers and active.
Somebody asked if he'd be starting at corner. No, that's still going to be Alexander and King on the outside.
So I feel facetious saying this is the biggest one because it's a punter. But Drew Kaiser, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I know how to spell it.
I don't even.
The punter that the Packers just picked up yesterday is inactive, meaning that J.K. Scott will punt today, as our Tom Silverstein, among others, reported today. He had J.K. Scott's wife is due any moment with their child, so congrats to him. But he will punt tonight. He is active. Tony Brown, the corner, the young corner, still inactive. He had a couple of special teams errors and hasn't played since then. Tim Boyle, no third-string quarterback. Corey Toomer, the linebacker's inactive. Justin McCray, who's been dealing with that shoulder, he's still inactive. Geronimo Allison, as we expected, he was listed doubtful. He will be inactive. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had more snaps in L.A. than Geronimo anyway. And then lastly, Alex Light, also inactive.
Just so you guys know, I want to warn you, our boss, Robert Zizzo, is watching, so be on your best behavior.
No foul language in the comments.
Please don't.
That's always an effort.
I saw a question earlier asking who'd be starting at safety. I think we already kind of discussed
sounds
that.
like Tramon Williams is going to be the guy. They may do some mixing and matching too. Pettin seems to like to use a lot of different guys. So we'll probably see other people line up back there too.
Who do we think we're going to see a kick return?
Good question. Pete, you take it.
That is a good question. I would have thought Valdez-Scantling, but if he's going to be starting at receiver, they probably don't want to overload him, also expose him to injury. So who would be next on that
Bashaud
list?
Breeland has done it. before.
23,
Jair Alexander.
Was he more punt returner in college, I think.
Ron Zook, unprompted, said Randall Cobb is very good at returning kicks, which to me means that Randall Cobb will not be returning kicks, because I don't think that they would just unprompted, willy-nilly, here you go. But
yeah, that's a great question. You know,
that's hard
to come up with. I mean,
that'll be interesting.
There's no definitive answer.
Well, it was funny because Zook said, "I'm not going to answer that," and then he followed that up by saying, "Randall Cobb has played. I talked to him about it after practice. I believe this was on Wednesday or Thursday. Thursday. Right. So who knows? I don't know if he was throwing you guys off. I don't know if he was being serious. But
I never trust them when they say that unprompted.
So run game questions. You know, this could be where trading Montgomery forces Mike McCarthy to play Aaron Jones more and get him more than how many touches did he have last game? 14. Get him more
12 rushes, right?
Get him more like up
6 yards, 82 yards.
I'm thinking the appropriate. I understand that they don't want him touching the ball 24 times a game. He's just too fragile. But I would think 18 to 20 would still be realistic, and he can have a huge impact on the game. I mean, it was so obvious seeing in person. We had a great press box seats in Los Angeles, and remember when they brought in Montgomery, and after watching
the second
Jones
down run
and that run, and you just turned to me and said, "Oh my God, look at the difference!" And it was night and day.
Well, to be more specific, so Ty Montgomery, there were in the backfield before he ever got to the line of scrimmage. Right after he got the ball, there was a hitch. I mean,
just pitter patter.
It was like a glitch. Yeah. He hesitated. So let's go here. And you never see Aaron Jones hesitate with the football. He's shot out of a cannon every time. Ty Montgomery hesitated, then ran directly into the line of scrimmage. And then the last play of the first half. You remember that one? Where there's an open patch of grass, and Ty Montgomery didn't see it. He cut it inside directly into a tackle. Go back if you want and watch that play. Aaron Jones has... He hits that open patch.
Where is it?
They get a lot more yards. Who knows if that changes their strategy at the end of the half? I don't know.
Do you blitz Tom Brady? Or do you play more coverage? I think you got to play.
Mike Pettin historically has always gotten after Tom Brady. If you go back to when he was with the Jets, those defenses that it would be wrong to say that they were built like the Packers defense now, but one thing they had was good cover guys on the perimeter, like I think the Packers have. Their philosophy was to put a lot on those cover guys on the perimeter, the Revises, and get after Tom Brady, get him off his spot. I would imagine that's, again, going to be the goal, is to get Tom Brady off of his spot. Now, can they do that? Well, they had 5 sacks against Jared Goff last week.
The difficulty with Brady is, if you blitz him still, he gets the ball out so fast that I wonder if you're better off just playing coverage. I mean, there's no good answer to this because the guy's the best quarterback who's ever played. So, you know, good luck.
And that's a good. Any time a defense has had success against Tom Brady, it's been because they've rushed him. They've dirtied his uniform. That's the only. So I can't remember any defenses having success going max cover. Can you?
You know, I can't say that I've watched a lot of Patriots games that closely where I'm just, trying to figure out whether they're blitzing or rushing. I'm trying to think what Atlanta did in the first half of the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and they held them to however many points it was at halftime. But he's just, he's the best. That's the one thing, is he gets the ball out so fast. I think you have to be able to cover well. You have to do what they did last week. I think cover well so that the rush can get out. I'm guessing that's your best chance, but we'll see what Mike Pettin does. He's faced the guy how many times, so they got a lot of experience on their staff going against Belichick and Brady.
Right now, Ryan, I saw someone made a fun little comment wondering how many positive tweets you're going to have tonight.
Me?
The over-under on positive tweets.
I'm never negative. I am the picture of optimism. We'll see how they play. How's that?
That's a fair answer. You can't fault that.
Hey, look. I'll be honest. I call it like I see it. If they play bad, they're playing bad. If they play good, they're playing good. There's really.
Did we talk about Sony Michel at all? That he's not. You said he's not playing.
He also is inactive.
That's really big.
It is. It is.
That's a very good running back. Very good rookie running back.
I don't want to make too much out of it because James White might be their MVP. He is really, really, not just good, but a tough cover, a tough matchup.
Right.
I don't know how this Packers defense matches up.
Michelle is elite. I mean, he's a better pure runner. He's a better running back. White's the more diverse. He's much better in the passing game, but that's the play action's a big part of New England's offense too. That's another big one. The Packers are catching New England at a really good time. Coming off a short week too. They played on Monday.
That's true. They have one less day to prepare.
Maybe that's why a couple of these guys aren't playing.
Right. For those of you just joining us, we just discussed Michelle is inactive, as well as Gronkowski is inactive. So two potentially big advantages for the Packers. What other? And we also mentioned Thursday night start for the Patriots, so they're coming off of a short week. So what other advantages do you see the Packers have heading into
this? Is just like last week, where with the Rams, with that dynamic offense, where we talked about that scout that I talked to the week before, who said when you're playing these teams, yards don't matter, points do. So let them. It's okay if they rack up 450 yards. You got to get some red zone stops. That's how you win the game.
Situational football.
So a couple, if the Patriots in the red zone 6 times, you need to get them kicking field goals, 2 or 3 of those at least, if you to have a really good chance to win.
Yeah, red zone will be big.
And Gronkowski's a big red zone threat. So not that they don't have any other players. I mean, they still do have Josh Gordon, very, very talented receiver, but. This is a huge. Just reading everything that I read this week, I was assuming both of those guys were going to be playing, Gronkowski and Michelle.
If the Packers keep James White under 100 yards receiving, they're going to win this game. Like that to me is just the key. Like I don't know who on this defense matches up to James White in coverage, and if they can keep him from having a big game with all the other pieces that are not playing tonight for the Patriots, I think the Packers win. Problem, I think he's going to have over 100 yards.
Good point by John. I mean, they've won games with both those guys out of the lineup, like we talked about earlier. They won a Super Bowl playing the second half of the season without Gronkowski. So when you've got Tom Brady, you still have it in Belichick. You still have a great chance. But this does shorten the odds for the Packers.
Paul saying that they're going to win tonight because New England is too beat up.
Kicking down the door here, so
it helps.
Echoing some of what we've been saying here.
Has Patterson gotten some work at running back? I know they've been giving him some jet sweeps, but I don't know if they've actually played him as a running back. Cordero Patterson. Packers saw a lot of him when he played with the Vikings. He's might be the fastest guy on the field today, and he's a big, fast guy. Should we just take another question or two and then wrap it up?
Well, I know, Ryan, I see Bob's talking a little bit about letting the rookie receivers play. And Ryan, this was something that you spoke a lot about earlier the past couple weeks. Even if the veteran receivers get healthy, you wanted to see the rookie receivers get some playing time. But the veteran receivers are been a little bit slower to get healthy, and their rookie receivers are still getting some good opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, Geronimo Allison being inactive means it's going to be a big night, not just for Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but you're also going to see probably a lot of Equanimous St. Brown, who has looked nothing but good when he's been on the field. Go back to San Francisco, the catch he made on third down. Last week made a really good catch on the ball that was thrown behind him. So he's shown that he can handle more snaps. It's kind of funny how the season, things can change from week to week. I think, Pete, a month ago, we probably would have said that receiver was a position where they couldn't afford an injury. And now it's about the best position for them to have an injury because they genuinely do go 5 deep, and that's pretty rare.
Yeah, it looks like, these things are early. I remember thinking Randall and Rollins were looking like really good picks a couple of years ago, but it does look like a couple good picks at receiver in this draft with Valdez-Scantling and St. Brown. Somebody was asking about Nick Perry. Well, maybe this could be the last one, but he was invisible last week. Now, he's been playing with an ankle injury. He's been on the injury report. Don't know how serious it is, but he seems to be a guy who, when he gets hurt, he doesn't play nearly as well. Some guys play pretty well when they're playing with an injury. Perry was invisible last week, and if you're going to get home against Tom Brady, you got to get some outside rush. So, good question, and we'll find out tonight.
Thanks, guys. I think we've covered a lot, but we're going to have a lot more to cover after the game. So make sure to come back to Packers News on Facebook, and we're going to be chatting, Ryan and I, and hope we'll see.
We might have Pete.
Maybe a guest appearance.
It's a possibility.
We'll see. To be determined. But yes, we will see you guys after the game. Enjoy.